Hi everyone and welcome back to the Bods. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You join me today for not a brick haul because I'm trying not to spend and I have no orders in the backlog, but a collection reflection. We haven't done one of these for a little while, and looking at our collection, like the ones I've got the most of, we've already gone through a few times, and then sort of 50%, there's just 2 sets in that in Ghostbusters. And about 4 sets in Ghost Doll's house. Not all that interesting. Icons, I feel like I've done with the Creator Expert. It's just rebranded, so I won't go through that one. But I'm thinking ideas. I've not talked about Lego ideas ever. And I know some people liked 100% the Lego ideas stuff. Personally, because they're so different, each set can be something so far removed from like the previous set. I don't want to ever be 100%ing this category, but we're at 37%. I thought we'd have a quick look and see what we do have, why we bought them, and why we're saying no to some of the others. Okay, so let's go have a look at everything in the ideas category and what things we do have. Now, I actually really like the smaller sets, the gift with purchases and things, because they're much easier to pick up and they add something new to sort of the city. So this one, I'm surprised that we missed out on at the time, back in 2019. Maybe we just weren't paying enough attention because we weren't buying all the time back then. But the Space Rocket ride is cute. I kind of feel since they released those 4 different rides as well, that having this one isn't as key, but we did pick this one up. And in fact, we bought this from Brick Picks and we bought her own personal copy because she didn't realise that she didn't have a spare, or I think she sold it to 2 people at once. I don't know, but she's since got this back into her collection. But it's a really cute ride, and we can have these sort of on every other street corner as something for the kids to do, or we could put them all together in like the amusement park somewhere. Research Institute, I mean, it's a great set. Again, another one of the smaller scale ones. But I don't feel the need to have it. I think it's quite a nice one if you're in the sort of sciences and things and you want to sort of represent. I know a couple of people have this sort of on the desk at work, but it doesn't really appeal to me. I don't really need it. This could be like interiors for something like one of the buildings in the city, but we have the Mountain View Observatory, and that's quite a lot of similar type things. So it's obviously got the telescopes and stuff, and we've got other skeletons of dinosaurs and things. So I don't feel the need for this. There's no point me going back in my collection to try and grab that, because again, not being a completist about this, so it's not on my wanted list. The vintage car, this was very popular. I remember back in 2021, this selling out and people being outraged that they couldn't get it, which makes me feel a little bit bad that I have 3. I don't know how that happened, but we have 3. I would only build the 1. We'll probably try and sell on the other 2 at some point. But like we all know, I'm not very good at selling Lego. These doors, however, horrendous. Not the most fun ever because they just fall off constantly. This one I like. We bought this, Ian built it, but when we were deciding what goes into the city and what is on display and what gets broken down, this one got broken down, and I feel a little bit bad about that, but at the same time I couldn't work out a good place to put it, so I obviously didn't care enough for it to keep it built. Tron Legacy, I'm not sure I've even seen Tron. I mean, they look pretty cool, especially the effect of the speed here, but I definitely don't need it. Next up, we have the Women of NASA. Again, it's not on my wanted list. I don't really care for space, and I feel like I probably should, because like it's vast and it's intriguing, but I have so many other things on my mind most of the time. I don't need to be just gazing off into space. I have no aspirations to see aliens or go to a different planet. I'm quite happy where I am, so this does not really bother me. Although I quite like this one's hair and outfit, but again, I don't need it. Ray the Castaway I do like, however. But I think I'm not sure whether this got broken up. I think it may have been destroyed by small children in the household. But it's a really nice one and quite easy to fit into a city. You can just stick him in the middle of the ocean. So I think that's the plan for him. But I'm pretty sure I've just put these into my parts collection. So I'll have to probably rebuild this one if we want to include it in the city. Again, space. Space seems to do quite well in the Lego Ideas category, actually. And it just does not float my boat at all. And also, look how much Technic is in this. That's going to hurt my fingers. Galileo Galilei. I mean, apart from it being kind of in the song, I quite like singing Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm not bothered by this one. I quite like this sticker piece there at the back. I do like the Leaning Tower of Pisa for some reason. So maybe that would be interesting, but I'm really not bothered about getting this. And I think it was quite an expensive gift with purchase to get. And given I had no care for it, I did not get it. Right, we've got an exosuit. Now, I'm not like a big fan of mechs. This seems quite mechy and quite spacey. So, again, not on my list. This guy's quite cute though. Sailboat adventure we do have. I really love the dolphins in that. They've got kind of a different shape to the normal mould. And the colouring is good. And it's just a really nice piece, so that's definitely going to make it into our city. Hayabusa. I don't know what Hayabusa is. Is it a satellite? Looks spacey. And also, this is one of the original ideas, I think. Therefore, it's going to be massively expensive. And I just don't need it. Now, the DeLorean. I think my feelings on this one is that it's a bit too blocky. And I don't really like the set. And I know people are going to say, it's my favourite set. But it's not for me. I obviously like Back to the Future. I don't know why that's obvious, but I do. And in fact, I've seen the DeLorean at a museum somewhere when I was a child. And I was like, oh, that's quite cool, but I don't need it. Same for the Shinkai 6000 or 6500. 6500. That's probably how you'll say that. I don't need it. It's not for me. Minecraft, definitely not for me. But I do have respect for this set for starting like a whole theme. Not that I'm into any of that theme, so therefore it hasn't benefited me in any way, but I know that people really enjoy the Minecraft theme. And so kudos to the guy for getting this one through. Now, the Big Bang Theory, I own this and I picked it up at a good deal at a Lego show, and yet I have not yet built it. And I would love to have this. I don't know if it would go into the city or whether it would just collect dust on a shelf somewhere, but Ian and I really enjoyed watching The Big Bang Theory. I kind of miss it. It did obviously change along the way. It wasn't quite the same show at the end as it was at the start, but we enjoyed it. And I would love to build this. So I should probably just pull my finger out and get it done. Adventure Time. I don't even know what Adventure Time is. They're kind of funky. I mean, especially this one with the sort of curved. Yeah, but I don't need it. And because I don't have to collect 100% of the set, I don't have to buy it. This is the original Ecto one, the small scale one. And whilst I would like to have this to go into our Ghostbusters firehouse, we bought, I think, the female version. Not necessarily intentionally. I think I was not paying attention to the listing. But we got all the female figures. We already have the male figures from the firehouse itself. So we do have a Ecto one to go into that building. So that is fine. And that's good enough for me. Polaroid camera. I'm not into the real world objects, so I will unlikely get this. Now, the Yellow Submarine one I see quite a lot, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I don't need it in the city, and I can just admire other people's. I think that's the thing I'm going to take forward. Like, just admire other people's things. Don't feel the need to have them. Like, oh, look, there's the Yellow Submarine. How cool is that? Move on. Not, oh, I must have it. I don't need it. And the birds, this is the first one I actually remember. I don't know if it's because I think the designer might have been from the UK, so it was talked about more on the news over here. But I thought this was the very first Lego Ideas set, and that's clearly wrong. I love birds, but I don't need giant birds. I don't know. I think there's too many studs on show. I get a bit upset when you can see too many studs. So it's not for me. Doctor Who, they made a Doctor Who set. Who knew? I mean, it's not for my personal collection, but it is cool that they made it. I've seen a lot of Doctor Who stuff since, though, that's just as cool. And again, means nothing to me because I don't watch Doctor Who. So I don't need any of that either. But I can appreciate it, and it's a cool set. But it's not coming home with me. Wally! This was how I missed this, I don't know. My friend had it. I don't know why I didn't buy it at the time, because I love Wally, and yet it passed me by. I do now have it. Again, still waiting to be built. I got it for my 40th, and so I'm excited that that's in my collection, and I need to really get him built, because I honestly considered buying a fake one, just because I wanted him on display. He wasn't going to go into the city, so it didn't matter if he was fake. Like, the parts wouldn't mix with my collection, and I just wanted to be able to see him. But I got the real thing. Again, cracking deal at a Lego show, so I've just got to get him built. This one, I think it's really cool, but it's spacey or London Undergroundy, and it's just not for me. And this, I always think this is a giant button on here. I don't know why, but I don't need it. I'm not getting it. Oh, I'm denied about the Flintstones so many times, just because I used to watch the Flintstones a lot, and it's cool. But looking at his city, where are you going to put the Flintstones? Like, it's too fictional, too like modern Stone Age. So I didn't need it, and therefore I don't have it. And I am a little bit sad about that, but I can live with it. This one I have, but unintentionally. It was part of a deal at a show. It was like 3 sets, 2 of which we wanted to experience, 1 which we didn't really care, but it was before it was actually released, so we're like, okay, we'll buy this. And I made a video about this set. I watched the music video so many times in order to make that video, that I actually really quite like the song now. But I really don't need a Lego set of the set for their song. So I have it. And I mean, there's some bits in it that you can really use in a city, so I will probably put those in. I'm not going to resell it. I think it's just, I don't 100% need it in my collection, but I have it, so yay. Steamboat Willie, I'm denied because I like Disney. I then started thinking, I want to collect every single Mickey and Minnie, but that was after they'd sold out this set, or retired the set even. And I was like, should I get it? Should I try and find it on the aftermarket? Then they did the little gift of purchase one, which again, I haven't built, so I clearly don't care enough. And I can pick up the figures. So I think I've already got Minnie, and I just need to get Mickey. So I don't need this set. It's not coming home. Oh, I didn't even know they did this one. A maze. This is quite a simple looking set. This kind of looks quite fun. I kind of want this now. So we were at a Lego show a couple of weekends ago, and we took the gift with purchase maze along, and that was quite a tricky one to do. This, we made a maze out of just a base plate for the kids, because the other one seemed far too tricky. But this would have been quite a cool concept to have instead. Kind of want it. Didn't know it existed. Should I put it on my wanted list though? Do I want it that much? I don't know. I might ask Ian if he knows about this one, because it looks pretty cool. Right. Caterham. Not bothered. Really don't need it. What are these? Are these meant to be like traffic cones? Because they don't look like traffic cones. They must be something else entirely, but I have no idea what. But yeah, I honestly don't understand the point of the kit car either. Like, just buy a car. They're so expensive, aren't they? But I would love this pop-up book. I like having books, the Lego books on my shelf. I'm going to make them into a real display piece. So having another book would be cool. I kind of feel like they missed a trick with this one though, because like there was just one lot of insides. They could have kept releasing new insides and that would have made this a lot more desirable, I feel. But I don't have it, and short of finding it at a good deal unintentionally at a Lego show, I'm not going out seeking it. Space station, that looks like a lot of stickers. Maybe it wasn't stickers, maybe they were prints. I don't know. I don't need it. It's spacey. Spacey is not my thing. I'll just say it again. Oh, we have this one. Ian wanted this one quite badly, so he had some birthday money from my mum, I think it was, and went out and bought this from the Lego store. He then decided he was going to try and build a museum modular to house it. Designed quite a lot of it. Didn't finish designing it. Forgot about it for a bit, and then Lego released their own. So, and that's a modular that we haven't actually bought yet. So whether we're definitely getting the modular, of course, like that's what we do. But I kind of feel Ian's idea was quite nice, and I'd like to see it come to fruition, but whether it will or not, I don't know. Now this one's a cheating one because we have this one, and it was originally the only Lego set that we were willing to keep outside of our Lego space in the house because it's quite decorative. My kids often, as children, would steal the little globes. That was frustrating. Do I love it enough to get it a second time? I clearly marked it twice just so I can score extra points. I don't have this version, I have the original. So yeah, it was weird that they did that. But I do like the set. Oh, I quite like the family tree set. And so this was one of the like Target exclusive, I think. But I feel like there's a lot of pieces in it that if you're putting this into a city, you don't need, and therefore you're paying extra. So I've got it marked as I want because I love the tree. And I like the concept of it being a family tree, but I don't think I would use it that way. So paying for all of these parts and all of this base, I just don't want to be doing it. So again, if it's on a good deal, I'll grab it, but otherwise, nope. Now, Central Perk, I've not built. I've had like for years and years and years, and they were going for like £30 at one point. Apparently, since Matthew Perry died, these are shot up in value. Kind of can't believe that we didn't pick up more. But then you can't foresee this kind of stuff. And I don't really think I'd want to capitalise on the death of someone. So I'm happy to just have my own copy. Fender Stratocaster. I mean, this thing's tiny. It's not like you can even pick it up and pretend you're playing it. It's small. And I just don't care to have it. So that one, it will not be joining the collection. I love the butterfly, like specifically just the effect of it. But I don't need a dung beetle or a praying mantis or whatever this is. And again, I don't even need the butterfly. Where would I put the butterfly? I don't know. So I'm not getting that one. Sonic the Hedgehog. No. I mean, I remember playing Sonic the Hedgehog as a kid. I enjoyed it. But I don't need it on display in my house. So that rules out that set and the entirety of the Sonic the Hedgehog line. So that saves me a bit of cash. Again, the office. Never really got into it. Just looks like an office to me. So I feel like I wouldn't enjoy the set as much not having any idea what any of the Easter eggs in here are. So I don't need to add this. Winnie the Pooh, I did pick up. I think that's going to end up in like our forest area. But would I buy it again? I don't know. I quite like having the little characters. But there's no Kanga or Roo. Like Roo is my favourite, I think. It was a nice build, but I don't need it. I already have it. I'm not going to sell it. I don't sell Lego. I don't know why I want Seinfeld. Why is that listed as I want? Like, I have no need for this. I've never seen Seinfeld. I'm confused why I've got that listed as I want. So I will take that off my want list because I really don't think I do. I think because it was a building, but no. Sesame Street, haven't put any effort into actually putting it into our city at all. It's just been gathering dust. I kind of, because it's all green lights and it's very different aesthetic to the sets we already have in our city. So I don't know what will happen to that. I love having a Cookie Monster though. And I think my Big Bird was a bit squished and I was meant to be getting a replacement. I should probably check that out because otherwise they'll have no replacement Big Birds. We buy too much Lego and we lose track of the problems with it. Telephone box, obviously iconic for us here in the UK. I don't care to have a giant telephone box in my city. It's not going to fit in my city. I was more excited about, I think it's the Ministry of Magic set that comes with a minifig scale telephone box. So that I'm happy to have. I'm not a fan of brick-built people, so this one does not float my boat at all. This is impressively sized. I've seen it at some Lego shows, but again, a bit too spacey for me. Oh look, the same thing. The old efficient store, kicked myself when this one just disappeared from the shelves and I didn't realise it was going to happen. And in fact, there wasn't much of a length on this one. One year, 3 months, 29 days. I love the set. I have since built it. I do have it. I went around the houses to try and get it. Ended up being scammed on eBay, I think. That was a confusing moment, but got my money back. Bought another one. Fine. All good. Motorways Lighthouse is beautiful. I love that being in our city. I feel like we don't take enough joy from the lights on this. We never turn them on. So that's a shame. But yeah, it's good. We like it. Typewriter. We have this. Does anyone want to buy it? We hated it. It was not the most fun build at all. And I think all I really want to keep are the letter tiles. And I feel like if I'm going to try and sell it, people are going to want the letter tiles. So that's an interesting one. It's definitely one that I don't need in my collection. Whereas the A-frame cabin, there was a lot of contention about these trees. Most people hated them. I think they're fine. But I actually really like the build of this and like the actual set itself. And the trees. But I'm glad that one's in the collection. Oh, the Viking village we've picked up, but we haven't built yet. Just looking at it, I think I'm going to enjoy this build. I think it's going to be an awkward one to fit in the city though, but we'll give it a go. And the medieval blacksmith, again, a great set. A lot of hoo-ha about the fact that the set did not look like the original design. That's the thing that I think frustrates me about Lego Ideas, the number of people who get upset about that kind of detail. Like, this is what's going to happen. Get over it. So I'm fine with it. I'm not really into artwork so much, although it depends on the art, I guess. But I don't like the 3D effect of this. I feel like this is just a massive dust catcher. You're meant to put it on your wall and you enjoy the display, but I don't see how you can when you know how many little crevices there are for the dust to get in. And yes, that's true of all Lego, but I feel like this specifically, you wouldn't really want to be putting behind a display case to avoid that because it's art. It's meant to be on the wall. I think it's just not gonna be good. I'm gonna find it frustrating. So, and I don't care for it. Hocus Pocus house. This was more Ian's choice of purchase because he'd seen the film. I've since seen the film. I think, did we watch the second one yet? I'm not entirely sure we did. I think we were going to, but we didn't get around to it. The purple smoke is cool. The way it opens is cool, but again, then makes it harder to incorporate into a city, and we have yet to do so. Voltron is super cool. Like, and is he a Transformer? Like, I don't want to actually say, oh, cool Transformer, because now I'm thinking maybe he's not a Transformer. Anyway, he's cool, and I don't like mechy looking things, and I know he's not a mech because like he's a robot in disguise. Maybe, I don't know. Don't hold me to this, but he's cool looking, and therefore I think he's cool, but not enough to need him. Right, the foosball table. This was part of the sets that we bought in that auction, and it was fun to play with for all of 2 seconds, and I like having all the minifigs, all the different like hairstyles, faces and things, but I really don't need it anymore. And so this is being parted out, I think. It's not required in the collection. Whereas the Orient Express is definitely going to make it into our city. I do really love this. And specifically that minifigure there. Whatever her name is, Pippa or something. Barracuda Bay is great. We have it as this little thing, not the actual ship. But I feel like the area in our city where it is, you don't see it. You miss out entirely. Right, the globe. We don't need the globe. The globe is cool. I imagine it's fiddly as to try and put it together. But I just don't need real world objects made out of Lego. I wouldn't have an actual globe. Why would I have a Lego globe? This feels like this has been going for a long time. Is this still on? Yeah, you can still buy this one. This one has been a very successful Lego Ideas set. And I love it. I don't recall the build being all that fun. But then I can't really comment because I'm pretty sure we built this one like one bag at a time over many, many weeks. And it looks beautiful, but I think there were bits to it that was just fiddly and annoying. Also a nightmare to dust. And no one's ever actually going to change these leaves because it's a bit of a pain to do. So they should have maybe done that in an easier way to swap out. So again, grand piano, real world object, scaled down obviously. I don't need it. The concept is cool, but not for me. Now, do I want the Dungeons and Dragons set? I think I do. But again, no idea where I'd put it. I'm going to mark it as I want though, because I think I do want it. I specifically do like the dragon, although it's not as good as the Elves Dragons, obviously, because they're way better. Now, the Home Alone set I have fond memories of because I built this one as an advent calendar a couple of years back, and I used it to sort of do a regular stream on Twitch. So it was nice to hang out with people whilst I was building it. And it is quite a cool set, but it's massive. It doesn't really fit very well in the city. And you've got this annoying bit at the back. So we've taken that bit off so we can take up a little less space with it. But it is cool. Okay, things that are coming. We've got the cat, not interested. Jaws, not interested. Don't know what these two are. 3 are. But I may or may not be interested. This one says it was coming out in 2023, so maybe this one is a placeholder that is no longer happening. So it's annoying though, because if this placeholder's in there, that's making my percentage wrong, even though I cannot possibly buy that. So there you go. There is my sets. How many do I own? It's just I own 24 and I want 2 more. So 24 out of 69. I think it's healthy to have a collection that you don't need to finish. And I'm going to stick with it as 24 for now, and then add on any that come out in the future that I like, but not try and 100% this. So let me know in the comments below about your Lego Ideas collection. Are you one of those ones who have to complete the Lego Ideas? What's your favourite Lego Ideas set? Also, what theme would you like me to go through my collection for next time? And if you want to see any other collection reflections, I will link up that playlist as well. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an update. See you later.